welcome to the Lazy K Farmstead. If you're new here or if you're returning, I'm glad you're here today. My name's Teresa, and I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about the very basics of preserving the harvest. We've been working very hard to get our seeds planted and get things organized so that we can have a little garden this year, have a big garden this year. And so my husband asked me the other day when he saw all my seeds popping up, what are you going to do when all them seeds come up and everything's ready at one time? I'm like, you're right. What am I going to do? So I got to thinking, I want to make sure that I'm prepared. So when everything is right, ready to be picked, ready to be picked up, whatever the case may be, that I'm ready to take care of it when I get it home. So here are some things that I feel are the very basic things that you will need. And these are things that you can start gathering up now. You don't have to go all at once and buy everything you need all at once. I have gathered up the things that I use over several years. The very first thing I do recommend you getting is a copy of this book. This is the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. It is a one-stop shop for information on preserving everything from A to Z. Whether you're doing jellies, whether you're canning meat, whether you're freezing, whatever your needs may be, this is a fantastic resource for you. And you'll see me use it all season long. The USDA also has a fantastic website full of resources. I'll put the name of it here on the screen, and then I'll put a link down below in the description of the video so that you can easily access that. It is the same as this book, a lot of the same information, another fantastic resource. Take a few minutes, browse through it before you get started so you have an idea of where you want to begin. Now, some of the tools I have are Ziploc bags. The bags that I keep are a general purpose bag, and I use them in the freezer as well. There is a freezer version of them available both in the slide closure and the double zipper closure. And those are great. And I would probably use those if I intended to keep something in the freezer long term. But for as long as I keep it, these general purpose bags do the trick for me. The other thing is, and you can buy these things typically in a kit, you're going to need a funnel. You're going to need this little tool. This is a debubbler, is the technical terminology for it, I think. This end is used to stick down in a jar when you want to get all the bubbles out of it so that you have just product in your jar when you're closing up. This gauges your headspace. So you'll set this on top of your jar, and whatever the recipe calls for, if it calls for a 1/2 inch headspace, you can measure and make sure that you have a 1/2 inch of headspace. If you have a 1/4 inch of headspace, whatever the case may be, you get the headspace correct so that your food will stay fresh longer. So there's that, typically in the kit. And this is a jar holder. This, you open it up, use it to pick your jars up. Jars come in a very wide range variety of sizes. They come in several different brands. The brands that I typically stick with are the Ball, the Kerr, or the Golden Harvest. They come in, these are a 1/2 pint, they come in pints, they come in quarts. Those are the jar sizes that are recommended for preserving your food. They do have 1/2 gallon jars and bigger. Those are not recommended for preserving food. These are typically used for jelly. I do need to make a lot of jelly this year. I don't think I made, but just a little bit last year. So this year I'm going to be making a lot of jelly. So I have several cases of jelly jars. Now when I make jelly, I use pectin. There are recipes, and you'll find them in here, for making jelly that does not use pectin. And if that's your choice, that's fine. That's why there are all the choices out there, is so that you can do you and make it the way you and your family like or need it to be. For instance, this is a Sure Gel is the brand, and it is a pectin. This yellow box is for use. The powder in here, it comes with a couple of packs of powder, are for use when you use sugar in your recipe to make your jellies, jams, whatever. But the pink boxes do not use sugar in the recipe. So this pectin works without sugar. Now I have some family members who are sensitive to sugar and would rather have something without the sugar in it. And so that's why I stock up on both. Now you will find that both of these, if you've been buying them for a while, you know that the price of both of these has gone up significantly in the last couple of years, like everything else. So I try to pick up a case of each or just one. I have more of the yellow than I do the pink, but I pick some up every time I'm in the grocery store and happen to walk by. I'll pick up a pack and stick it in the basket. And that way, when the season gets ready to make jelly, I have plenty on hand. Now to make jelly and to do a lot of different things, you're going to need a water bath canner. This is just a big pot, has a lid, has a wire rack in the bottom that the jars sit on. This is how I learned to can, was water bath canning. And there was a long time that I did not pressure can. I was scared of it. It's a breeze. So we'll get into that more when we start preserving things. But if you're looking for just the very basics and a way to learn and an entry level position into the canning world, a water bath canner is the way to go. Very easy to use. Typically get great results. Jelly is very forgiving. If it doesn't set up the first time, you can recook it a second time. And believe you me, I have recooked lots of jelly. So the pectin does come in powder or liquid. There are other types of pectin, other brands of pectin that you can use. I find that this is what works best for me. I have used liquid a lot of times, and that's when I was recooking stuff. But this works for me, but it took some trial and error to get there. And that's what it'll do for you too. So take some time, think about what you're gonna do. Look at the different resources that are out there. Read the recipes that you might be wanting to make and start gathering up some of those supplies, whether it be jars, canners, a funnel, sugar. Sugar's the thing that I start buying early because to make jelly, I use a lot of it. And so I will start buying that and some of the other things that I need. So this is definitely just a starting point. And as the season goes on, we'll get into lots more things. But if you want to have a place to jump off into the world of preserving your own food at home, I think this is a very good place to start with some very simple tools to use. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be glad to answer them. And I hope to see you next time. I'm looking forward to this season. I think we're going to have a really great season. Thanks for watching.